little champs, Boo is here to tell you an exciting story. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived two stubborn children named Alex and Maya. Alex and Maya were best friends, but they were also fiercely competitive and stubborn to a fault. One sunny day, as they were playing in the village square, they stumbled upon a beautiful garden tended by an elderly woman named Mrs. Miller. The garden was filled with vibrant flowers of every color imaginable, and the sweet scents of blossoms filled the air. "Wow, look at these flowers!" exclaimed Maya, reaching out to pluck a bright red rose. But before she could touch it, Mrs. Miller gently stopped her. "I'm sorry, children," she said kindly. "These flowers are not meant to be picked. They are meant to be admired and appreciated in their natural habitat." Alex and Maya exchanged a glance, their competitive spirits ignited. "Why shouldn't we pick the flowers if we want to?" argued Alex stubbornly. "What harm could it do?" Mrs. Miller sighed patiently. "Every flower has its place in the garden," she explained. "If you pick them, there will be fewer flowers for others to enjoy, and the garden will lose its beauty." But Alex and Maya were not convinced. They were determined to have their way, and they stubbornly insisted on picking the flowers despite Mrs. Miller's warnings. As they plucked one flower after another, they didn't notice the sadness creeping into Mrs. Miller's eyes. But when they finally stopped to admire their spoils, they realized their mistake. The once beautiful garden now looked barren and empty, with wilted stems where the flowers had once bloomed. And as they looked around, they saw the disappointed faces of the villagers who had come to admire the garden's beauty. Ashamed and regretful, Alex and Maya realized the error of their ways. They had been so focused on winning and proving their points that they hadn't stopped to consider the consequences of their actions. With heavy hearts, they approached Mrs. Miller and apologized for their behavior. "We are sorry, Mrs. Millers," they said earnestly. "We should have listened to you instead of being so stubborn." Mrs. Miller smiled kindly and forgave them. "Remember, children," she said gently, "stubbornness can be a strength, but it can also be a weakness if it blinds you to the needs and feelings of others." From that day on, Alex and Maya learned to temper their stubbornness with empathy and consideration for others. They realized that true strength lies not in always having your own way, but in knowing when to listen, compromise, and show kindness to those around you. And as they worked together to restore the garden to its former glory, they discovered the beauty of humility, friendship, and the power of learning from their mistakes. Hi champs, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this story, and don't forget to subscribe my channel for more videos.